Good lord. It's working again. I have no idea what happened. And I'm not entirely sure I want to know. Oh yeah, I'm still at 11. Why am I still at 11? So, to summarize, David, you're saying plane is working, rep is working, Orbex is more or less working. There are some issues with the water, but I mean, I haven't seen any problem. And if I have Orbex installed, my custom airports in the Orbex area will be fine. Is that what I'm hearing? Because if that's the case, I think there is almost no reasons to not change, because I know the GPS is working, the Brunner is working, and yeah. I cannot see anything else that is holding me back, actually. Exactly, Orbex Mesh. So that might be actually some of my next projects will be to move everything over. I don't have any other I don't have any meshes installed, so it should be working fine. And hello, Thomas. Good of you to join, even after whatever that was. I didn't understand your message. I was thinking that that you were saying that you were watching me have the timer tick down. So that was really weird. And fantastically annoying, because I didn't manage to figure out what was wrong. And I still don't know what was wrong, but that's the beauty of messing around with stuff. So, as I was saying, when I was streaming to an YouTube audience that I am not sure even was there, I'm going to take the plane from where I landed last time, Inyokern. I'm going to first drive it around a pattern just to see if it actually works. And if it does, I will take it up the interstate into the mountains and go back and basically get back in the saddle, because I don't want to leave any viewers with the impression that the Beaver cannot climb out of that field. After that, I will just proceed northbound through Death Valley up to Big Pine, just south of Bishop, into the mountains to the Coyote Flat Airport, which is at 9,980 or 90 feet, just shade under 10,000. And then onwards up to Mammoth Yosemite, if time permits, depending on how long time I spend around faffing here, which I've already done for an hour now with technical issues. All the while, temperature has increased, but it's not horrific. It's 20 degrees, so that's going to be fine. So, what am I thinking about? When David told me that I wasn't actually at Twitch, I was told that I was doing this. I was fixing the starter, which has been a bit out. The cylinder compression is on the low side, so that might be a factor, but I'm not sure that's actually the reason why this was so messy. So I am gonna still keep those tires. Not gonna change those yet. Water issues and the trees are issues. Seaplane version, well, I don't use that yet, at least. So that's not going to be a major issue. Let's see here. A little bit distracted by the irritating technical issues by the stream, but I'm gonna try to plow right through. Let's see, Inyokern weather 3017. 3017, 2420-ish, and the airport is at 57, so that's close enough. Maybe I just clicked it a couple of wrong. Yeah, close enough. Yeah, no rain. I saw that on the rep forum, so they're waiting for Thranda to fix that. So I'm thinking that's gonna be maybe some time, but I can live with that. Although the rain effect is pretty nice. All right, flaps coming down. Just gonna check my fuel status. Rear tank full, front tank half, center tank is almost empty, and I have lots of fuel in the belly. For some reason, I have something in the tip tanks. I cannot remember keeping anything there. Boggles me a little bit. Well, anyway, I'm gonna take what I have. And just have a look here. 607 hours. Walk around. One reason you've held off finishing ABC to get some classic ore. Well, yeah, well, Oregon has been pretty rough lately, so I'm guessing you're getting there as far as getting weather. Just remember that many of these airports, actually none of them, apart from North Bend, has anything even resembling approaches. So if you are in need of going IFR, you should just know that those airfields are not gonna allow you to get very, very far down. Didn't I chalk the plane up when I flew it last time? Did I forget that? Because I didn't do this before I started up the stream. Maybe I was too shook up. So no tie downs. That's weird. So Thomas, why are you still awake? Are you at work? Because if it's late for me, it's late for you. No, tie downs are off. Close up shop. Bring the flappage up. All right. Connect the yoke. Done. I just recently found a setting in the there's a yoke software. Night shift tonight and tomorrow night. Excellent. Is it quiet work or is it busy? As I said, I just discovered some yoke software that actually automatically connects to the plane that I'm flying. Recently, or before that, I had to manually choose the plane I was flying, either the Cessna or the Marchetti or this one. But that setting has been there all along. I just didn't notice. So yeah, so much more work for me. Yeah. Okay. Marcus table. Exactly. So that's the official name for it. My dulcet tones. What is dulcet, by the way? I've heard people say that about other people before. But the Beaver is a nice deep rumbling sound to sleep to. Hopefully not with crashing though. You're not cursing the workload tonight, so you're not cursing it. That's so that's something at least. Speaking of that. What am I thinking? I'm thinking I should choose somewhere to start the engine. I'm gonna do the center tank, which is almost empty. And once I start the engine, I'm gonna utilize the vacuum pump. Beacon on. Getting fuel pressure. There's 5 psi. Okay, now I'm excited because now I'm getting to find out whether this engine is actually behaving as it should. I have my doubts. Clear. Prop. As you see, Thomas, I'm starting without the mixture. As I said that, I put it in, but I could hear the engine starting to fire. So once it starts to fire, you could put the mixture in, but if it's still just cranking, it's a really slow start though. Dulcet. Dulcet, adjective, pleasing to the ear. Oh, nice. Melodious. Soothing and agreeable quality. Sweet to the taste. Well, not sure about that, but so at least I don't have a teeny, annoying, shrieking voice. In music, in classical music, which I play, a lot of music is marked with dolce, D-O-L-C-E, which is meant to be kind of soft and velvety in sound. So maybe that's the kind of same root of the word dolce, dulcet. Probably, very likely. The engine is not completely happy. Let me give it a shot more prime here, which I can do. If you pump up the fuel pressure, you can actually use the primer to give it more prime. It's kind of a way of giving it a richer mixture. Or you could just put it to full rich. Yeah. It's coming up. Spanish, similar, yeah. So many of these languages have the same roots. I have nothing like that in Norwegian, but as I said, I use some of these words very regularly in my work. So I don't speak a word Italian, but I use a lot of Italian in my work. So allegro and forte and leggero, things like that. Right, I'm gonna connect to PilotEdge, and that's all good. And close up this. Alright. Alternator, master, nav lights. Keep those others for when I'm ready to take off. You do? Excellent. What kind of instrument have you been playing? Or are playing if you're still doing it? I see traffic on my GPS display here. Not showing it on ForeFlight, but it's because traffic was turned off. Now it's there. Oh yeah. Ooh, good grief. Have you seen how much traffic there is at good old China Lake? A lot of airplanes marked Vampire. A huge heck ton of them. I count 4 or 5-ish. At least. That are bursting through the area. That's pretty frightening, because they're probably gonna keep up with me, I'm sure. Waiting belts. I would re-enable the weight of the dog, which had gained 5 pounds after the supplies I got at Oak Ridge from Thomas. More like whatnot. Okay, so you've been playing. Okay, wood winds, wood brass winds. Experiment piano. Not bassoon, with the excellent bassoon. Okay, so you're like a musical potato, been all over the place. I know nothing except piano. Oboe is very nice. Sax. So a trigger word for you is read, I'm sure. Oh, look at this. Fuel warning just went off. So I'm gonna do this. Turn that on, and I'm gonna set a 15-minute alarm. Of course you do. All the geeks do. Make your own read. Yeah, I've been playing a lot with various woodwinds, and they are very obsessive with their reads. Well, let's before I even get out of the hangar. Last time when I tried running up the plane, now it's warm enough to run up, I seemed to get decent enough performance, but the propeller didn't quite match my expected the expected behavior. So I'm gonna see how it behaves now. So I'm about half throttle. This is more or less what I got on departure from that airfield up in the mountains. Of course, much higher up, but still I have a lot more throttle to go with. So, checking mags first. That's good. Okay, full power. See what I get. Okay, I get what I'm considering a full power. Let's see how this... I'm gonna take it down a little bit. Yeah, I'm still not getting it to go down. That's kind of weird. Let's see, maybe the pressure is too high. No. So there's something going on here. The before I departed from Kern Valley, I was able to get the RPM down to about 1,000 when I put course pitch. I'm not getting that. So there is something going on here. So let's see if this goes on with... This is not good for the engine. Yeah, it's not going down either. So how about if I'm at full rich? Does that change anything? No. Okay, I'm just gonna go quickly look at the this instructor station that you mentioned, David, to have a look. Failures, none. So what is this? I'm gonna try an experiment. I'm gonna turn off the weather just be completely standard. So 10 degrees and normal barometric pressure to see if the weather is somehow affecting the engine. I should be able to get more manifold pressure out of it now. Slightly more. And see what the propeller does. Nope. Still not behaving. So I'm I'm not actually sure what's going on. And back with active sky. Should see the manifold pressure drop here. There we go. There wasn't much. All right. In any case, what I did notice when I was flying is that the high RPM did mess up my my manifold pressure. So if I have the same problem up on high with getting the manifold pressure, I'm going to drop the propeller slightly just to get that to work. So let's see here. Wind is calm, so I'm just gonna find the nearest and best runway and have at it. See any no temps. Runway 1028, irregular surface, uneven pavement. Well, good for them. Yes, I'm gonna go straight on to tree. That's where I'm departing. Let's see here. Runway, tree. Get that sorted. Done. One 122.8 is set. That is monitoring guard. Good. Inyokern traffic. Beaver 524 Echo Alpha taxiing runway 33. Inyokern. So you have experience at piano, David. So if you've played all of these instruments, I'm sure you've been basically growing up almost in some sort of band environment. As in this time at band camp, all those stories. And the question is, why have you been playing piano? Is that just because of the education, or is it by interest?
Approaching runway 33.
Good lord. Betty, calm down. That's apparently her name, I've learned. Did I see a whole shoreline here? Oh yeah, there it is. Nice. Inyokern traffic. Beaver 524 Alpha holding short. Runway 33. Inyokern. Okay. Just recheck that run up. I'm not calling it a pass on the propeller, because that should have been reaching 1000 RPM now. Or is it? Kind of. Sorta. Dropping. No, it's going up. This fluctuation is really weird. It's kind of behaving like there's something wrong with it. Because I'm not doing anything now, and it's changing between 1300 and 1400. I'm not doing this. And it's not a noisy controller. So if I increase, it's kind of behaving as if there's nothing going on there. Okay, now it's behaving. No, it's still kind of in the same area. Let's see where 1500. Okay, now it's going down and it's going up. Now look at this. Does this look right to you? What the hell is this? Again, let's see if carb temperature, or carb ice is a factor. Okay, now it's stabilized. Let's put it down a bit. And we have wobblage again. I have an idea. These temperatures, I may have the wrong oil here. I'm gonna shut down the plane quickly here and change. I'm gonna shut this down to a different oil. I may have the winter type oil, and these temperatures might actually be the problem, which might interfere with the propeller thing because they are adjusted by the oil. It's a very thin hypothesis. I'll grant that, but not entirely impossible. So I'm gonna give it a whirl. Give it a whirl. All right, David, you are saying combination of things. Okay, grandmother, talented. Oh, nice. Okay, so she was a good, what do you call it? We call it useful pianist, basically. You can improvise, accompaniment. I'm not very good at that. 2 years of piano, okay. Okay, nice. Okay, so you're basically a more useful pianist than I'm, for example. I can kind of pretend to improvise on keys like that, but I'm probably not horrible at it either. But it's not the same. But put any score in front of me, anything, and I can play it. Yeah, the wobblage. Well, this one I haven't had, so I'm just gonna experiment with this oil here to see if that's the deal. I may have been running the wrong oil. Could be, it could be a bug also. I mean, so restarting. A little bit of fuel pressure. Shouldn't need any prime. Now I can put it to reach. And then I'm gonna restore avionics just to keep all the variables similar. Okay, now let's see. Dad played clarinet. Okay, yeah. No time and no interest. Well, that's a good old story. Okay, let's see what happens now then. No dice. This is very concerning. Or disconcerting, I think is the word. Okay, so a lot of people in your family have been playing at least. See, let me try to replicate. I usually run a plane up at sub 2000. Getting down to 1300 and it wobbles. Nope. So either the plane is broken in a way that doesn't quite yet show up in the rep system, or I have or basically there's something wrong with the beta version of the Beaver that I'm running. Oh, nice! Grandmother's piano. Is it a upright piano or is it a grand piano? Okay, it's getting to be rather... 96 is Wurlitzer. Nice. Upright. So that's the running joke among pianists is that what did they say? Grand piano definition of grand piano is what most pianos ain't, as in grand, which is true. Though some upright pianos can be really big and heavy and monstrous. At least they have a footprint that is reasonable for most people. Alright, I'm thinking that this flight actually might be too long to accomplish, so I might actually just go to Lone Pine Death Valley and park there, and then come back to the what is it called again? Tunnel Meadows for the next flight. In the meantime, I'll have some people look at the plane. Yeah, the grand panels are rather big, and if you don't actually need the functionality of a grand piano, then it's kind of a waste of space and cost. Oh, your grandmother has a baby grand, Thomas. Nice. So the really small baby grands almost have the same footprint as an upright. Almost. It's not quite. They will take more space, but the baby grands are beginning to be reasonable at least. Okay, sent an image. Let's have a look. Oh, that's a nice piano. I like the ones that are low. Because the problem with a lot of upright pianos is that you have this big wall of piano in front of you, which kind of is I was about to say intrusive, but it's not intrusive, the word. It's just you feel kind of claustrophobic behind that big wall of piano in front of you. And this one seems to be much more pleasant to sit in front of because you have the piano is lower than your head. The pianos I use, for example, when I'm teaching, are kind of concert upright pianos. So I have a Yamaha piano that is 1.5 meters tall almost. No, 135 I think it is centimeters. Really nice sound, but it's kind of heavy for the eyes, especially because it's black, like a coffin. Maybe a coffin's black? No, they're not. This one looks good. And it has a full range of keys, 88 keys. I cannot stand pianos that don't have full range. Heavy to move. Yeah, I have a story or two about moving pianos, or 5. Anyway, I'm gonna get going. So spreading straight out, tree, and going up to Lone Pine Death Valley. That's the plan for now. You don't tune the piano yourself, do you? You would. It wouldn't surprise me if you did, but it's a bit of a workout to do that. Lights, camera, action. That's as the cool people say. Inyokern traffic, Beaver 524 Alpha, taking over runway 33, straight out departure. Inyokern. Yeah, that's sometimes I do also a few notes if they are really horrible, but I tend to leave that to the pros because it's a kind of a rabbit's hole if you start delving into that. And all of the piano tuners I know, and I know quite a few of them personally, and all of them are crazy. And I think that's probably at least partially because of the job they're doing, listening to the same note over and over again, mostly out of tune. So let's see here. Full power. And that seems reasonable. Engine in the green. Here's bit live. Well, that's the acceleration I was expecting up in the mountains. That's much better. So, after 1.5 hours of faffing around, I'm in the air. Not much better for it, though. Inyokern traffic, Beaver 524 Alpha, upwind, runway 33, straight out, departure, Inyokern. Now I'm curious. Can I make the plane go into low RPM now, once I'm in the air? Yes, I can.
Traffic.
Yeah, that's on the in the restricted area, that traffic. So yeah, I'm not sure what to conclude by that, though. But the propeller governor is able to pull the blades into fine pitch when I am airspeed. So this is the manifold pressure setting I had when I did it on the ground, and I was not able to get below 1300 RPM, which I am at now, and I have more to spare. So there's yeah, I'm not sure what to make of that. I have a feeling that maybe I don't know that much about engines, but the worn cylinders, their compression shouldn't affect how the oil moves around the propeller blades. So that shouldn't be it, but it could be some kind of programming bug in the rep or Thranda and/or explain system that makes it do that. I'm gonna try out something now, because when I was taking off from that battlefield, I got 23 inches of manifold pressure at full RPM, and my fuel flow, yeah, it was about the same that I have now. And full rich didn't do anything for me. I actually probably made it worse, because the engine was partially drowning. Actually kind of interesting. I haven't used this radial engine menu. Does that tell me anything? It's kind of cool though, because it's I can see that the RPM is changing when I'm moving. Yeah, that's cool. Completely useless in this scenario, but kind of cool to see it. So Thomas, what's your excuse for not playing piano, since you have a grand piano in the family? And as you probably can surmise, there is no excuse. By the way,
Traffic.
still inside the restricted area. It should be just across power lines there somewhere. It's probably going 500 knots. What was I thinking about? Yes, I was saying that it was probably on the dark side here. That's better. You used to play piano, okay? So, so you probably had a piano teacher that was no fun. Okay. The dexterity comes with practicing, and practicing comes with finding music that you like to practice, and or having teachers that force you to do it, and or threaten to do it, which is not my kind of teacher. I hate forcing people, but I like to encourage people to find music they like. That's kind of how it would work for me, because I wasn't interested in music when I was a kid. But when I found the music I liked, I really started practicing. A huge amount of practice. Dyspraxia. What is that? Oh, you had a good piano teacher. Well, that's good. Glad to hear that. Coming up on some interesting terrain here. Looks like there's a bit of a canyon or something going on here. Okay, so the plane is behaving okay, but I don't really trust it as it is. I cannot have it behaving like that if I go back up there again. So this needs to be sorted out. Maybe you have to contact the Reality Expansion Pack technicians and have them come look at the engine. Because I have a sneaking feeling that that's the case. Another one thing I can do to test it is to load up a Beaver that hasn't had the engine being used for close to 1,000 hours. Dyspraxia, also known as developmental coordination disorder, DCD, common disorder that affects movement and coordination. Okay, so how does that manifest in practice for you? Because you say that the dexterity is reduced due to this. From NHS, yeah. So it's more like it's doing complicated things is difficult to control, as in the coordination. This is interesting. I haven't noticed this ridge line here. I've flown through here once, I think. Okay, yeah. So you don't notice it every day. Well, that's the thing with the coordination that you require on everyday life is not that strenuous as it is in, for example, piano playing, where you have to do one thing with the thumb and a different thing with the other fingers, like this, and in a different rhythm, while completely doing something different with the left hand. And your feet. I mean, the piano has 3 pedals. And at the grand piano level, I use all 3. And mind you, I have only 2 feet. Which is an interesting mathematical thing to deal with. I have 88 keys, 2 feet, and 3 pedals. And 10 fingers. Yeah, 10 fingers. So there is some coordination needed, which is why I find it fascinating. And which is why classical music is so excellent, because you have some of the composers were really, really good pianists, and they were able to concoct piano pieces that are extremely complex and make the piano sound like you're playing 8 hands at the same time. It's really, really cool. And some of them look and sound more difficult than they really are, which is good, because then you can be impressive without doing all the hard work. And some pieces are really, really, really hard and doesn't really sound like it, which is not so fun. Played organ. So you mean the proper church organ? Because that's actually one thing I haven't done. I played chamber organs, like those kind of small, almost portable things. And harpsichord I've been playing. I worked with a choir at some point where I played harpsichord and chamber organ sometimes. But that's a long time ago. Now I just play piano. I would probably play organ more if it was called organ in Norwegian, because it sounds more fun to be playing it on an organ, if you know what I mean. In Norwegian, organ is called orgel, as in orgel, so it doesn't sound quite the same. So no ho 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 jokes about playing organ. This looks very much like a mute to me. What was these types of volcanoes called again? Shield volcano? No, that was not a shield volcano. This is the shield volcanoes are the flat ones. We had so many of these on the volcano run through Oregon. What are these called again? These I should know this. It'll get to me sometime, some point. So, I'm following Highway 395 northbound. Soon I will get to some reservoirs in some dry lakes, and then I will be at Lone Pine Death Valley. So for Death Valley, it's not very hot, but then again, these deserts aren't always very hot. Sometimes they're very, very cold. So, looking at this, I stand to benefit from moving more fuel from the belly tank up into the center tank. I have 20 gallons more room to spare, and I have 24 gallons in the belly, so that means I probably can just leave it on. Oh, what we haven't done today is this. So this particular intersection of road, yeah, it's marked with an intersection, but there's a small town-ish thing to the north of that intersection called Dunmovin. Thomas needs new underwear. Oh yeah, well, that's I fly without underwear. Oh, shush, did I say that out loud? Anyway, so, Dunmovin. That's, so, one of the excellent things about flying with ortho is the ability to see things like this, to see all these various weird squiggly roads, different shades, all of this around here. Whatever all of this is. Some small trails. Things have been here. This might have been a landing strip at some point. Or just a resting stop. It's a line of bushes here. And you see this little thing here? I think this is the Dunmovin. Town of Dunmovin. Or is actually... might be this one of my nose here. Let me see. Difficult to say. No, I think it's the one to my left here. This is marked on the map as Dunmovin. So if anyone wants to look that up, I'm going to put it in the chat. See what kind of information you can get from that. What kind of town is it? How many people live there? Why do they live there? I mean, we're in Death Valley, far from everything, and here you have this little cluster of houses. You would never see this outside of ortho. You see a cluster of buildings. Okay, they probably won't look like this in real life, but there's a couple of roads and a little clump of houses here and there. Why do they live there? And think about it this way. Some people actually was born, or perhaps born, in a family living in that area, and grew up there, and had to be population of 6. Exactly. So I'm not sure if there's very much procreation going on there. But some people might have grown up there, and been shipped away to some school or been homeschooled or whatever, and that was their center of life. I mean, I live in a town where it's 15,000, 20,000 something people in the area, and there's just a bunch of towns nearby. So I'm basically in a long stretch of coast towns in Norway leading up to Oslo. So I'm kind of I'm outside of the big towns, but it's or big cities, but it feels like I'm still in towns. But this thing here, Dunmovin, completely unimaginable. And here we have information about that area. A post office operated at Dunmovin from 1938 to 1941, and there's a citation, of course, very good. The place was originally called Cowan Station in honor of homesteader James Cowan. Cowan Station was a freight station for silver ingots being transported from the Cerro Gordo mines to Los Angeles. I've heard of Cerro Gordo. Where have I heard about that? When Cowan sold out in 1936, the name was changed to Dunmovin. It was a roadside service station, cafe, and store along US Route 935. Thanks for the information. And that's one of the things I love about flying like this. You see things like that. For us who are in the chat and or watching the stream now, we are the only people in the world who knows about this place, except for the 6 people who, according to the 2020 census, live there. They might very well be moldering corpses right now, and nobody knows because everybody's driving past. But we know about the place. And it doesn't really change my life all that much, but it's kind of cool knowing about these weird places. You see also here, this is not even a town, it's just some people who are living next to the road. Who has a little piece of land, a house and or barn. Some weird thing leading to, I don't know what this is. What is this, for example? What is that building with the trail? Why is it that? Why is that there? And there's another one. No, indeed, Thomas, you'd want to not fall out with them, indeed. There's a road leading up to the mountains. I'm wondering... That's one of the roads I was considering following to get up to the airstrip. So the airstrip that I was bouncing my way through bushes to get out of is up way beyond these mountains here. Maybe 20 miles up there. We have something going on up here as well. Here's some reservoirs, and it seems like they are using that water to irrigate a few spots. So this kind of makes somewhat sense. So some people have made a reservoir and they're using the water to make an attempt at some sort of crops. So maybe this is a developing area. This crop circle will be 15. Or it might be a lot of crop circles there right now, because this is a couple of years old scenery. Now we're getting to something more inhabited. This is the town of Olanka. Oscar Lima, Alpha November, Charlie Hotel Alpha. Olanka. And Cartago is the next one, next to the dry lake bed up there. And yeah, Cowan Station as Cowan Simulation. Well, I thought about that because I was looking at I was watching something. Yeah, I've been seeing the Cowan Simulation something, and that was a helicopter indeed. So maybe the people working in Cowan Simulations are people who grew up at Cowan Station in Dunmovin. You never know. If that, in that case, they kind of stepped it up a little bit. I would say. Oy, yeah, I see people talking about the Brunner yoke. I'm gonna stay away from that until I've safely landed. Thanks for pinging me, David.
Traffic.
Traffic, indeed. GPS tells me that there's something up in the mountains. No, it's not. It's just along the mountains here. It's a fast mover, that's for sure. I see that on the chart that I'm close to a lot of IR and VR routes. Yeah, they're a million miles away already. So this is the, what is it called? Owens Lake. Not much of a lake. I can't see any lake at all. I can see pieces of people struggling to retain some green water. And that's about it. Everything else is dried up. Well, welcome to California, where Los Angeles is sticking its straw into your milkshake. And bonus points to those who catch that reference. I drink your milkshake. And if you don't catch the reference, I have a suggestion for a film. Sierra Nevadas stretching into my left here. Actually, I think the whole thing should be called Sierra Nevadas, I guess. This mountain range to my right here is called Inyo Range, as in Inyokern, where the airport I departed from was. Okay, belly tank is empty, and the traffic is moving around. Yeah, I can see it back there. There it is. Going like a bat into hell. Switch that off, and the center tank is almost full. Very good. So, only a few miles away from Lone Pine Death Valley Airport, which has an AWOS that I probably won't need because I think I can get the information here. Nope, cannot. Let's put the AWOS in. 118.25. 18.25. Nothing. It's an AWAS-3, and sometimes I've not had any luck with picking those up in the sim. It's like they are not connected somehow. So I'm gonna forgo that and just gonna pretend that I know everything that I need. Well, actually I do. I can see the ground, and I see on the GPS that I have a 3 knot headwind, so not a big deal. And the sky is clear. So with a wind from that side, so that's roughly north or 020, something like that. So there are 2 sets of runways here. There's a 3113, very short thing in the bushes, really cool place to land. And there's 34, which is the more reasonable place to land. So there will be crosswind, but not a lot. So I'll go with that. 3-4. And I'll set my heading indicator to roughly where I'm seeing. Actually, now I get more of a crosswind. It's more like 060-ish. But oh, and it's increasing 5 knots. So if this continues, well, there is no. The best other alternative is runway 13. That's the alarm for the fuel. Actually, now it's more like crossing tailwind here. Not this one. I'm seeing wind from roughly that direction. So okay, well, it looks like we're going to be landing in the bushes, because this one, if it trends in that direction and if it increases in strength, runway 13 is going to be more interesting. So I'm going to do a low flyover, runway 34, but I'll be planning for runway 13. Which is a really, it's not even, I think it's, I think people are talking about, yeah, runway 1331, RSTD to gliders only. Where is that? RSTD. Not sure what that means. Possible wind shear. All good things. There's actually fuel at this airport. Runway 1331 is 2,400 of fair dirt. And the other one is 4,000 feet of excellent asphalt. So, interesting. Yeah, the wind still favors 13. Restricted, yeah, that's probably the word. But it is a pretty rundown old airstrip, so I don't think many people actually land at that runway anymore. It's kind of faded. Gonna make a call here. 122.8. Runway 34 has right traffic, so I'm gonna do a right pattern and then enter right traffic for 13 if that's if the windsock agrees with me. Lone Pine traffic, Beaver 524 Echo Alpha is 5 miles to the south, descending through 5,500 inbound for low approach, runway 34, going straight in. Lone Pine. This is a slightly larger town. It has, I think there's a hotel or something at the airport. This is more reasonable place to be born and to grow up, but still, it's way out. I mean, the closest big town you have is Bishop, which is also way out in the middle of nowhere. Las Vegas is actually more plausible. But Kind of interesting place to grow up, I think. Probably a lot of tourists. I cannot see the runway, but I can see the shape of where it's supposed to be. The ramp is over here where the beacon is. That's the runway. The one, and the other one is this dirt thing in here. Lone Pine traffic, Beaver 5 to Fork Alpha is on a short final runway 34 low approach, and right traffic. Lone Pine.
500.
So I have now a 7 knot tailwind. I could land 1.6, of course. Which will give me the excellent asphalt, as they call it. There's the elevation. Lone Pine, it says. There's the windsock. Yep, that agrees with my 1 to 2.8, it says. Very nice. Lone Pine traffic, Beaver 5 to Fork Alpha, turning right, crosswind, runway 1, correction, runway 3 for Lone Pine. A little bit of flaps. So I'm gonna go 1-3, more exciting. It's a bush plane after all. Lone Pine traffic, Beaver 5 to Fork Alpha, and right downwind, runway 13. Will be changing over to runway 1. Correction, right downwind, runway 34, changing over to 13. Lone Pine. Lone Pine traffic, Beaver 5 to Fork Alpha, 4,300, just to the north of the airport. Turning right cross... what is this? Crosswind, runway 13. Lone Pine. So there we have it. This little old dirt thing. Actually, it doesn't look as bad as I thought it would be. Lone Pine traffic, Beaver 5 to Fork Alpha, right downwind, runway 13. Full stop, Lone Pine. Kind of difficult to see where the actual runway is. It's just a piece of clear dirt. The wind agrees. I can see the windsock down there as well. So that's where I'm going. I seem to remember that the final of this runway here goes directly above the hotel that I mentioned. So I'll try to keep it a little bit high. Of course, the residents probably aware of they're living on an old airport. Lone Pine traffic, Beaver 5 to Fork Alpha, turning right base to final runway 13, full stop, Lone Pine. And there it is. Yeah, I think that's the hotel there, over my nose there. So I'm actually slightly to the side of it, so that's good. Lone Pine traffic, Beaver, short final, 13, full stop, Lone Pine. Bouncy bounce. Standing by for ground loop. Well, let me how about that? Not good enough. Lone Pine traffic. Beaver backtaxing runway 13. Lone Pine. Look at me farting up all kinds of dirt here. This looks like a dry place. It's kind of interesting because the taxi to the runway is pretty long. Look at that long tarmac up there. It kind of looks like that's the runway, but the runway is way up in the bushes there. Better than nothing. Well, I haven't had a ground loop in a long time now. It's a bit weird because it's usually is not very long, but in between the ground loops. So maybe that little bush detour I had on the last flight was kind of the airplane's revenge from not having ground loops. Let me stop over here. Lone Pine traffic, Beaver fork alpha, clear off all runways. Lone Pine. That, and that. Waiting for the ground loop during SimVenture. Oh, well, that you can do that. Because I don't think I ground looped at SimVenture. As far as I can remember. Pretty cool airport. It is actually this busy in real life. I think they're actually building something that they're kind of expanding. So, actually very beautiful. How's that for a shot, say? I love flight sims. I mean, look at this. It wasn't this clear when I was here last time. I think it was very foggy. I couldn't see the crisp outline of the mountains. It is probably a year since I was here last time. So that's your dirt strip. And the hotel is back here. And looks like there was an old runway here as well. See this X'd out thing. The windsock. And a long taxi up to... Actually, there's actually a parallel taxiway to the runway, which is very rare with these small fields. Usually they just drive straight into the runway and back taxi. It's almost like they have a lot of traffic here, but it's... I cannot imagine why they would. Let me see. I seem to remember. This is, of course, you see, it's a custom airport. It's one of master airport creator Gareth of the Oregon Bush Challenge fame. He did a lot of work on this one, as you can see. There's actually a service center for Cessna here. It actually is. Believe me, I helped him with the research. We found that there is actually a service center for it. It's really... Yeah. And he came up with this one. Isn't that glorious? He created this one. I think he took one of some sort of thing like that and he created the logo. I don't think this is yeah, this is what is this? This is P51 or something? Maybe not. I don't think that logo is actually what the airport has, but it's very good looking. It's a lot of details for the people who care for that sort of thing. He's not as crazy and perverted as I am, so I don't think he has any people being killed or being buried or something here. I would do that. I would for sure have a serial killer burying his bodies out in the bushes here. Yeah, sure. My airplane, my Cessna, is still on its way from SimVenture actually, so I still have a ways to go with that one. But maybe I'll use this one for maintenance. It's cheaper probably, but it's kind of out of the way. I'm not sure if I look at this detail. Isn't that cool? I cannot believe the amount of time he must have spent on these details. I know this takes a lot of time, especially building things like this, having, you know, assets standing on top of other assets. That takes a lot of time to get to look right. A bit of a scrapyard as well as the building stuff. So I'm sure this is a candidate for a California Bush Challenge. And the beacon is actually here as well. We did find that. It is there. Not sure if there's any other interesting things going on here. This cocky guy with his 152. Yeah. I'm not sure if I've showcased on the stream any of the airports I've created. I may have shown a couple, but I'm not sure if they're... Yeah, well, oh yeah, you saw the Norway airstrip with a guy with the scythe and the chickens. So that's one of the airports that I've created. And, there are other airports that are much worse. I have... there's an airport in southeast California, south of Bullhead Airport, that I created, where alongside the runway there's a bunch of dirt mounds like this all along the airport, and there's a guy with a shovel and a body in a what do you call it? A wheelbarrow, and you can see that in the mounds that there are, you know, hands and feet sticking out of them. So he's burying his victims at the airport. I'm not sure what the backstory by that is, but it is what it is. Ooh yeah, Airfoil Labs tail dragger. Oh. And something with a little bit more oomph, like the 180 with a 6-cylinder engine. That would be nice. When we get to Washington with the Beavers for the service at Painfield, there's a little farm strip to the north of Painfield. That was my actually my first airstrip. So it's actually quite good for a first try. That was when I first discovered how much fun you can have with the library assets of Explain. And I have a few scenes that makes that an airport worth visiting. Not quite so benevolent as this airport. I don't do benevolent. So now this airport is just too gorgeous, and of course it's location, location, location is part of it, I guess. So many cool details. Look at this draped thing with a glider in it. I would have bodies in these, of course. Anyway, so at least I got the plane flown. I got somewhere northbound. I mean, I covered maybe 50 nautical miles, 60 nautical miles. So I'm at least closer to Washington. So with that, I'm going to... Actually, I'm going to shut down. I need to do that first. What is the temperature? It's 20 degrees. Do this, of course. That's a trick, by the way. Before you shut down your engine, open the window. I also like to line it up to... Actually, I'm gonna check. I'm gonna do a proper run up first. See how the engine behaves now. If it is any different. Probably not. Let's see here. Color. Will it go below 1300? Nope. Kind of wobbles around. I really don't understand this. Yeah, propeller at an intermediate setting and it will wobble like crazy. This kind of smacks a little bit of a filter problem or a fuel delivery problem, but I don't see any fluctuations in fuel flow. I could sometimes see this when there's a problem. Actually, now it's stabilized. We'll put down the camera a bit to see if that changes. Because usually you would see the fuel flow change first, and then the engine would kind of react to the fuel flow changing. If there's a filtering or a delivery problem. Yeah, this is just weird. A little bit more power. So that comes out. Doesn't change the RPM though. Let's see, full power. Just barely full RPM. 13 miles per pressure. There is something off by that though, because this plane usually gets, at sea level, you would get 40-45 inches of mountain pressure. And even if it's warm, maybe you lose 2 or 3, maybe. And with altitude you lose 1,000, or you lose 1 inch per 1,000 feet, so I would lose maybe down to very high 30s, but now I have 31. I might just fire up the sim with a different Beaver after I shut down the stream, just to check if the engine is actually the problem. Because if that's the case, I might very well give the plane an overhaul at Boeingfield or Plainfield when I get there. But not before. I'm gonna use it as it is. Because that's how we do. And you're going to be flying it, Thomas, without your beloved instruments, I take it. Or do you fix some of them at North Bend? Anyway, shutting down. first take out the avionics. And then off with that. Alternator, nav lights, beacon. Just get illegal. Yeah, so transponder and comm radio, basically. Disconnect the yoke. Walkies. Those tires have really served me well. I'm gonna keep them. They're my lucky worn tires. Well, not so lucky, but you know what I mean. So there we have it. Tied down Beaver. All right. Oh no, have I been flying with that setting all the time? With me being in the screen? Or was it... like this? No, I think I've been flying with the this huge screen of me, and ugh, sorry about that. I thought I'd taken it away. Anyway. Thanks for the patience and the help with letting me knowing that the stream was going to the wrong pipe. Not sure what I'm going to do now, if I'm going to try going up to the mountain airport again. Kind of tempted, but, well, no. It's on the iffy side, I think. I'm going to get up to Painfield as fast as I can, I think. Anyway, thanks for flying with me. And for those who have night shifts, have a nice night shift. And for those of you who have still an evening to enjoy that. And for those of you who are getting up now, I'm not sure where in the world you are, but there's surely morning somewhere. So good afternoon, good evening, and good night. See ya later. Bye-bye.